I'm Kenneth Williams, City Manager of Buda, and I'd like to welcome you to our event this evening. It's one of those special events where we are experiencing the changing of the monarch, where we have the outgoing mayor and council member that are departing. We have an incoming mayor and council members coming in this afternoon. So it's a big occasion for the City of Buda, and we're glad that you're here with us to participate in this great event. Now, being a city council member is quite a charge, and being a mayor is quite a charge, as you can ask Remy and Mayor Haehn. It takes quite a bit of sacrifice. It takes a lot of commitment, and it takes dedication from them. But not only from them, it has to come from their families. You know, you and your families are a tremendous part of being in those offices. So we not only like to acknowledge them this evening, but also the families that are here and the sacrifices that you have made, where you gave them to us every first and third Tuesday of the month, along with other committee meetings, to participate in what's here for the City of Buda. So we would like to thank you, thank your families for that. First, I'd like to recognize Councilmember Remy Fallon. Remy is a part of local family royalty in Buda. And she's a jewel of a person, but don't make her mad. You will find out that she has another side to it too. So I had to learn that over time to be nice to Remy and make sure. But over time with Remy, I guess one of the best opportunities I had was to share with her with our one-on-one meetings. And that's where I found out that she was a tremendous sports fan. And she taught me a lot about sports. I thought I was a sports fan. She taught me about basketball and coaching basketball and football and you name it. And she also told me how much she used to holler and yell at the referees. And she continued to tell me that after she found out I had been a referee for 20 years. So it didn't make any difference to her. But to her credit, she did say she got a little better over the years of hollering at referees. So she was great. But I would just like to acknowledge Remy's initiative for such a young person to commit themselves to such a task to be a city council member. You know, that's no small task. I didn't realize how young Remy was until she told me a couple of weeks ago. And we just would be so lucky if all of our young people would commit themselves to such an endeavor to do that. And this is something that will carry her, will go with her through the years. Even when she's no longer on council, she will reach back at those experiences and take them and grow as a person and do great things for Buda. So Remy, we thank you. We appreciate your dedication and your sacrifice for you and your family, because I know you have a young family too. And what you've done, and we wish you great things in the future. And then our Mayor George Haehn, Mayor Haehn was elected in November 2012 to the City Council. And then later on became mayor. When Mayor Haehn was elected to City Council, we were in the old building, and so we promptly moved all the glass out the building because we knew a bull in a china shop was coming on his way. So we had to get it all out the way before he came and tore it up. But that was not so much the case. You know, Mayor Haehn was a great military leader, so he had great qualities in leadership that we all benefited from, and we all found to help us become a better organization. But we never had to guess where he stood on the matter, that's for sure. He let us know. And when he first got here, he wanted to beat up all the city employees, because you know how he felt about government employees, okay? But he was dedicated, a great individual. He provided heartfelt service to the City of Buda. You know, we never had to question his service and his heartfelt service and his dedication and his strong, steady leadership. And again, I attribute that to him being in the military, for what he did in the military. And that was really exemplified during COVID-19 over the last year. Him being emergency director, we couldn't have asked for a better mayor to take us through that. and come here and provide the leadership that Mike Beggs and all of us needed during that time. So thank you, Mayor, for doing that part of it. We thank you, but let me leave in saying too, I kid you about his reservation about city employees, but before he left, he was still doing it today, he gave a handwritten note to every city employee and gave them his appreciation for working with him and serving with him. So that tells you a lot about him. He having one opinion, but when he's leaving, he's recognizing every city employee with a handwritten note, especially for them, and we really thank you for that, Mayor.
Kenneth was right when he said that Remy was Buda royalty. She's the queen of self-deprecation. If you talk to her, she'll tell you she doesn't know how she got on council, and she's too young to be elected. And stories about accidentally going to the restroom in the men's council chambers for a couple of years before she found out, and things like that. But I'm here to tell you she was much more than that. She was a crucial part of our success over the last 3 years. Although she didn't speak out as much as some, she always made sound decisions when it came down to a vote. When times were tough, she was a source of much-needed levity. She always made me laugh, and I would not have enjoyed this last 3 years without her here with us. We started together in 2017 and came onto a council that turned over 3 members at the same time. It seemed kind of like a changing of the guard in Buda. We had 3 new members, one with 1 year of experience and the other with 2 years. The only ones that had real experience was Wiley Hopkins and our brand new mayor, Mayor Haehn. Mayor Haehn was a councilman when I moved to Buda 8 years ago. He was kind of known for being the maverick. Council member Haehn was not afraid, as Kenneth said, to give his opinion and always felt free to speak his mind. When he took office as mayor, he was exactly what we needed with our Green Council. He took control, although not as the maverick anymore, but as a wise mayor. He recognized what we needed from him in this situation and adjusted accordingly. He was now the steady hand with the wisdom to lead the bunch of newbies. I believe his tenure was an absolute success. He was the link that brought us from the ideas of the old council and to the implementation of the new. He's built a great legacy and will forever be remembered in Buda. So thank y'all so much. You've been like family to me. I appreciate everything you've done for the city and the sacrifices, and good luck in your future.
Remy, what everybody said is absolutely true. Local royalty, that's an accurate term. You bring a local flavor that Buda doesn't have. I mean, I've been here a long time, but you're raised here forever. You have the background of the schools. You know a lot more than anyone else does. And then the business owner aspect of it. There's 2 aspects that you brought to council. Kind of like Paul said, getting you to speak up was challenging, but when you did, you contributed significantly, and we appreciate your insight and your input into some hard decisions that we had to make over the last 3 years. Mayor Haehn, this will be starting my 5th year on council, and it will be my 1st year without you on council. So I appreciate your leadership. I was at 21 years in the Marine Corps. That's 7 years as a history teacher. 8 years on council. I mean, it's a lifetime of service that everybody should commend you for that. I have very big shoes to fill. Appreciate your guidance and your leadership. And I congratulate both of you for what you've done for the city of Buda. And like Councilman Daggio said, you will not be forgotten. I appreciate everything you've done for the city. Thank you.
So the Honorable Mayor George Haehn was initially elected to the office of Councilmember 4 in November of 2012, serving a full term, and again in November 2015, serving a partial term before being elected to serve as mayor in November 2017. Mayor Haehn joined the United States Marine Corps in 1978 and served until his retirement from active duty in 1999. He received several commendations from the Bronze Star with V for Valor to the Marine Corps' Expeditionary Medal to the Meritorious Mast. After retirement, Mayor Haehn returned home to Austin, attended the University of Texas at Austin, and earned his BA in History with Education Certification in 2012. He then taught social studies for 7 years. Under his tenure as mayor, or as council member, and mayor, he was instrumental in enacting legislation to adopt the city's first bond package in 2014, consisting of 5 major initiatives for the city, including the municipal facility that we're in right now, the public safety building, streets, drainage, and parks and trail improvements as well. Other highlights of his time in office included the Texas Municipal League Excellence Award for the Buda Police Department Mental Health Officer Program, assisting the Buda Fire Department Class 1 Insurance Service rating, the Aquifer Storage and Recovery Pilot Well Project, the Wastewater Treatment Plant Expansion, the Alliance Regional Water Authority Water Supply, the Water Meter System Replacement, the VFW lease for the former facilities on Houston Street, the lease to Inspired Minds for the Art Center in downtown Buda, the Still Beautiful Stimulus Plan, the updated Transportation and Mobility Plan, and then also a new franchise agreement with PEC for our electric service in Buda. And then that's just a few. There's so many projects that we can't mention them all. Mayor Haehn is passionate in his determination and will, and he will continue to support the city's projects and views. All in all, he always had the best intentions of the city at heart. And so Mayor Haehn, if you'll come on up, we would like to present you with this plaque in honor of your service to the city of Buda.
I have been known to ready, fire, aim a few times and, spout off and voice my opinion. But at the same time, I grew. I began to understand more about why things are done, how they're done, and any success that I may have had over the last 8 years is due solely to what I call the dream team. The members of council that served with me and served as council members as I was mayor provided me with so much support and so much knowledge that I mean, if you get the best in the business, it's hard to fail. If they're there to advise you and assist you, make recommendations. And even Remy, when she voiced her opinion, she was straight up, this is the way it should be, and that's the way it was. Everybody understood everyone else. And staff, oh my God. From our city manager and then our assistant city managers, Ms. Middleton-Pratt, Mr. GRAU, everyone on staff, from the highest to the lowest, had such a dedication to the city and to the success of every project that we ever thought we could just dream up. And they dedicated long hours and hard work to make these plans and these visions that the council came up with a reality. Ms. Ramirez, she was instrumental in making sure that I did not get in a whole bunch of trouble. Mr. Williams, instrumental in helping me understand why it takes 5 years to get a contract completed and a construction job done. And I cannot tell you, Mr. Bryant, your input from the day we met, and I'll never forget it. It was at the tavern. He asked me to come down and have lunch with him. I was a brand new newbie on the council, came down, sat with him, and we talked, and he was able to help me understand better how things work. And to this day, his knowledge and skills is a valuable asset that will continue, hopefully, for many years. And Lee, I'm going to tell you what they told me when I got elected. Once they got you, you ain't getting away. So I'm going to vote for you for the next 5, 6, 7, 10 election cycles, all right? Just to let you know. But I want to thank everybody, Mr. Hyde, your legal advisor, I mean everybody. Again, I want to call it the dream team. You know, they called it the dream team with the basketball. A bunch of professionals went over and played against a bunch of amateurs. Called it the dream team. No, the dream team is everybody that works for the city on behalf of the citizens. From Mr. Urbanovksy to the first new hire that's riding the mowers, rolling in the ditch. And boys, I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you this much. My hat's off to that crew in August when they're out there weed whacking a ditch in 105-degree temperature with 94 or 95% humidity. And I never heard anybody complain. Never. It was just an amazing team to have the opportunity and the honor to serve with. Now, went through a lot of change of command ceremonies where you'd get a battalion commander or a regimental commander or a division commander, MEF commander, and they always said this: serving with you was the greatest honor I have ever had. So by the time they got to that line, everybody's sitting there sweating. A lot of times you've got full combat gear on because they like to see you do a marching parade with a helmet on your head that's giving you a headache, and you're praying to God He would just shut up. So when you hear, it was an honor and a pleasure to serve with you, you're like, oh God, thank you. Because you know it's getting close to the end, and all you're hearing is blah, 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 blah. But from my heart, it has been one of the most honorable things. I cannot express to you the honor that I feel having the opportunity to serve with each and every one of you. And please, division commanders, department heads, let your folks know I see what they do for Buda every day, and I really appreciate their hard work. And with that, I'll shut up. Sir, I'm leaving Buda in your capable hands, and I know with your leadership skills and your abilities, the sky's the limit. And as Admiral MICAH said, and I can't remember the whole thing, it's may the Lord smile upon you, and may you always have fair winds and following seas. And I just want to thank all of you. Thank you.
The Honorable Remy Fallon was elected to office as council member place 5 in November 2017. And in November 2018, the title was changed to council member at large, position 2, as part of the 2017 charter election. Councilmember Fallon is one of the youngest members ever to serve on Buda City Council. While being a wife and mother of young children, which is no small task, she also found time to dedicate herself to being a public servant. She is a Buda native, the granddaughter of the late Helen Akala, the daughter of Renee and Lily Akala, restaurant owners of Helen's Casa Alde. Her passion projects were the new city park and establishing programming and events within the Parks and Rec Department. While serving on council, Councilmember Fallon played a key role in several city projects. To name a few, the completion of the Green Meadow Splash Pad, the completion of the San Antonio Street and Garrison Road Improvement Project, the first annual downtown tree lighting ceremony and Cocoa Jingle event, and the City of Buda Tree City USA designation. Councilmember Fallon also served on various ad hoc committees, which include the Dupree Local Government Corporation, the Audit Committee, the IT Committee, the City Park Planning Program Ad Hoc Committee, the Mobile Food Vendor Ad Hoc Committee, and the City of Buda Water and Wastewater Committee. Councilmember Fallon has brought a unique Buda native and millennial perspective to the council, which has served to be invaluable. Congratulations on a term well served, Mrs. Fallon.
I'd like to read what we have on this plaque. It says, "Thank you for your many valuable contributions during your service. Your loyal and dedicated service as an elected official played an integral role in the City of Buda's success."
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. I really don't have a lot to say as usual. I could cry right now. This has been the most mature thing I've ever done. And I do have 2 kids. I'm telling you, like, this is ridiculous. Thank you so much for the best council I've ever served with, Mayor. Thank you so much for your leadership. Lee, I'm going to be passing every number to you like I've done for the last 3 years. Paul, thank you so much. Monica, you're filling my seat and you're bringing in the exact same thing that I brought, and I can't wait to see what you do. Thank you.